Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and thanks for joining me again. This week we're on chapter 7 from my book Tesla and the Cabbage Patch Kids, which explores the Empire of Tartaria and covers really the rise and fall of the greatest empire that ever existed. Before I start reading, and it's just going to be a few paragraphs at random, I just want to thank everybody that's subscribed to this channel. It really does mean a lot to me and it motivates me to keep doing this. And thanks to everybody that's given it a thumbs up. If you've already bought the book, then thank you. You can buy them on Amazon or you can get a signed copy from me if you'd like one. So get in touch. I'll put an email in the description and also a link to the Amazon page. Kindle's available too, but signed copies are available. Just ping me a message and I'll get one shipped out to you. So if you're sitting comfortably, once again we will begin. In total, they estimate that the Napoleonic Wars killed 3.5 million soldiers and another 3 million civilians. As a result, this left a great deal of children without their fathers, mothers or both, and I will explain exactly what happened to them later in the book. Napoleon and the parasites' reign of terror ended in Waterloo, or at least that is what we have been led to believe. Personally, I think this was just the end of this particular saga, and with the War of 1812 underway in America, the British were now more busy than ever destroying the Tartarian Empire, the Moors, and the indigenous people across the Atlantic. The War of 1812 lasted 3 years and had, as with the Napoleonic Wars, the sole purpose of wiping the Old World and its people off the map. Millions of acres were taken and occupied. Washington alone was almost flattened, but with the exception of one particular building, the White House. It's hardly a surprise to anyone reading this book that nobody recorded actually how many of the true forefathers of America were killed. However, we do know that the genocide of the indigenous people didn't end there. Many wars and conflicts and even pandemics followed, with the parasites being responsible for 3 million Amerindians from the West Indies as well as Central and South America dying from smallpox. There has been and still are far too many civil wars to list, and most appear to have the same cause and effect. The parasites want to take control and ownership of a country or region, so its citizens stand up and defend themselves. But who benefits from war? It's certainly not common man. We either stand up for our rights and try to fight back against the regime or the parasites, or we are told to fight for our country. The wars I've listed within this book took place in parts of the world that the Tartarian Empire had expanded into and was either in control or had evidence of Tartarian civilization, culture and architecture, as well as free energy being harnessed from the ether. With regard to the First World War, we are told by the mainstream historians that it started as a direct result of the assassination of Franz Ferdinand during a motorcade procession in Sarajevo. This was despite the driver of the car Ferdinand was in taking a wrong turn and still being shot by the assassin. The route was heavily publicised, making him a sitting duck. This event happened during quite worrying tensions between the Bosnians and Austro-Hungarians and the British government, along with several neighbouring countries. They felt that the strong German support for Austria and Hungary would lead to a war in the Balkans. However, this simply isn't true. The decision to go to war by the British actually goes back to 1891 and the creation of a secret society by William I. Stead, Cecil Rhodes and Reginald Brett, known as the Society of the Elect. These 3 men were incredibly wealthy, powerful and had the ear of the monarchy. In fact, Reginald Brett was the advisor to both Queen Victoria and King George V. Between them, they owned the diamond and gold mines in Africa, along with the major publications in Britain and, as with most conspiracies against mankind, the Rothschilds were also involved, having financially backed Cecil Rhodes with his mining empire. The Society of the Elect took their ethos from the Jesuits, and this, surprisingly, wasn't even hidden. The men felt that Germany was simply becoming very technologically advanced, especially with weaponry and transport. So before they became too powerful and put the British Empire at threat, began a smear campaign against them. Eventually, the public were almost filled with hatred for the Germans, and Ferdinand's assassination was the final straw. I believe the underlying issue was that Germany still had Tartarian technology, and a great deal of its energy was being harnessed from the ether. This had to be destroyed before the parasites lost the opportunity to control the northern hemisphere and financially profit from every single form of the supply and production of energy, from coal to oil, and so began the First Global War. There we go. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you so much to everybody that subscribed once again, and I will see you next week. Goodbye for now.